Hello, Year 11. I'm Mrs. Wells, and I'm here today to talk to you about the wonderful world of sociology. So I've been teaching sociology at Henry Box for about 12 years now. And the core of sociology is it's the study of our society that we live in. So we look at our world today through the eyes of thinkers who've been writing for the past 200 years. So some amazing figures in our world, Emile Durkheim and Karl Marx and Germaine Greer and Max Weber, and wonderful people who've written really interesting things about the world. So we look at their ideas and how they've interpreted society. And we also look towards the future. So we look at postmodernism and ideas about what our future society may or should look like. Now, I think it's fantastic, but I've also got some quotes from some of my students that I'm going to show you because I want you to see it through their eyes. So I've given you here a variety of students. This is one of my present year 12 students. And you can see that the interest here is on, the world around us, and the topics that we study are just fascinating and really interesting. This is one of my students who is now doing social work, and she became really passionate about sociology kind of as the course went on. She got more and more passionate, and it really helped to shape what she wanted to do in the future. Here's another of my students who is also at school at the minute. She's in year 13, talking about the way in which sociology has changed how she thinks about the world. And this is one of my students who is now doing a politics degree in York, and the way that it has really helped him to understand his present situation and to do really well in his course, which is great to hear at the same time. We study 6 modules over the 2 years, and you can find out a lot more in the prospectus about these. So I'm just going to briefly talk about them. Families and households. We look at the function of families today. We look at the changing role of families, women's role, men's role, the role of children in families today. We look at the darker side of families, areas like domestic violence. We look at the division of labour within families and how population has changed within that. What's the impact of an ageing population, the impact of migration? We look at education. What's the purpose of it? Why do you come to school for so many years? Is it so that you learn shared values in society, or is it a way that the ruling class can control the ideas of the working class? Why do some groups do better than others? Statistically, girls do better than boys. Some ethnic groups do better than others. Why is that the case? How does government policy affect education? We also look at research methods. So these are the ways in which sociologists find out about the world through questionnaires and interviews and participant observation. And we look at the advantages and disadvantages of those different methods. Towards the end of year 12, we study global development. And here we're looking at inequalities on a global level. Why are some countries richer than others? And what does the future hold? How can we make the world a better place? We then look at crime and deviance. Again, key questions. So you'll see a theme here about what is the purpose of crime. Some sociologists actually say that some crime is beneficial for society. So we look at that argument. Other sociologists argue that crime is designed by the rich to keep the poor poor. And we look at a whole range of different aspects of that, why some groups are more likely to commit crimes than others, or statistically more likely anyway. And then at the end of the course, we look at some huge theoretical themes in sociology that actually run through all of these units. We look at feminism, we look at Marxism, we look at functionalism, we look at interactionism, postmodernism. It's one of my favourite bits because it kind of glues everything else together, and it gives a really theoretical, academic, firm foundation for everything that we do over the 2 years. In terms of assessment, it's all by exam. There are 3 written exams at the end of 2 years, and each paper is 2 hours long. There are 10-mark questions, 20-mark questions, and 30-mark questions. This is an answer that one of my students did last week. Now, he did this under timed conditions. So this is a 30-minute question. It's worth 20 marks. There's a conclusion that I couldn't fit on, so it's not the whole thing. You can see how much detail you're expected to write, and you can see the kind of level of sophistication that you're also expected to be able to use. So this essay is very well structured. The vocabulary is excellent. There's a very strong knowledge element in there. They're using lots and lots of key terms. They're naming theorists. They name the people. So it's really good in terms of knowledge. But there's also very explicit evaluation, which is key. So they'll give you an idea of the sort of written standard that you're expected to achieve, and this is under exam conditions. In terms of our results, we get very high results at Henry Box. This was 2019. I had 20 students. Our average percentage, you can see, was way above similar centres and all AQA centres. And I'm very proud of our results, and we've had results above the national average for years and years now. But that's because students work hard. That doesn't just happen by chance. In terms of the skills and qualities, I think my first thing that I would always say is I expect you to work hard. And if you do that, then you will do well. These students in year 12 have an exercise book where they write all their notes. And in addition, they have a retrieval practice book. So each week they go back and try and remember what they've been doing, maybe a week ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can see from these students that what they've written in black is their first attempt without looking in their exercise book. They then open their exercise book, and the little bits in pink here or blue here is what they've added in later. So you can see they've really built up their memory store really brilliantly here. And then they're asking themselves questions, and I test them every week as well. So it is pretty intense. You're expected to do a lot of homework, but it's great because it's so interesting. So everyone loves doing loads of homework, of course, for me. It links into lots of other fantastic subjects. So all of these subjects here are subjects that we teach within social science faculty. And then it also fits in very nicely with business studies, English, economics. Having said that, I also have students at the moment who are doing maths, who are doing the sciences. So it fits in with a whole range of subjects. Essentially, I'd say do it because it's really interesting. There are lots of great jobs out there afterwards. In terms of universities, I have students who are at Oxbridge. I have students who are at lots of Russell Group universities studying sociology and sociology-related courses. For example, criminology, law, social anthropology, international relations, education, all of those subjects fit in really nicely with sociology. I would ask that you have a level 5 in English language. You can see from the slides that there is a heavy written content, and you're expected to read a lot and write a lot. You're also expected to take part in lessons and debate. There is no right or wrong answer in sociology, and it's really key that we develop our own debating skills and discussion skills and skills of analysis and evaluation. So we have some very lively lessons. I actually have a period 5 on a Friday, and I have to chuck them out at the end because they're usually sitting there continuing the discussions and arguments that we've had when I want to go home by that point. So that's, it's a lively subject, and I expect you to come with ideas and thoughts and passion about the world that we are living in. Okay, so if you want to find out some more, my classroom is ED10, so upstairs in Edwardian. I'd love to see you. Come and talk to me. I can show you our students' books, I can show you the textbooks, and talk to students, and that's the best way to get an idea of what's going on. So if you know students in year 12 and year 13, then at a social distance, go and have a chat with them, and they'll really tell you how it is. I have about 70 students this year in year 12 and 13. And I would love you to come and join us and find out about the amazing world of sociology. Okay, thank you. And I hope to see you soon.